and welcome to the Weink Podcast, where stories go beyond pages. I'm your host, Elsa, and today I'm with Violetta Brooks.
Hi, I'm Violetta Brooks, and I am a small independent romantasy author, and I am so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I love that you went straight to introducing yourself. I don't even need to ask. So I've done a little bit of research on your books before we start, so I can introduce you. But if there's anything that's wrong or anything you want to add, please do interject. So what I found is that you have written the trilogy, completed trilogy of a House Woodthorne trilogy, The Great and the Dark, A Fire So Lovely, and Winter of Traders. And your stories are often at the intersection of fantasy and romance, filled with broody heroes, strong heroines, dark world, forbidden feelings, and you like to add some spice of danger, grief, and loyalty, and also romance that has to fight for itself. And one of your most recent completed books is A Fever of Cruel and Lonely, which is a Lincoln love story about a rare she-wolf and a tormented warrior, which you finished really recently.
That was the first one I've done where I've posted it chapter by chapter, like in a serialized kind of format. And that was a fun challenge for me.
Were you writing as you were posting then?
Yes. That is the only time I've done that, but I really liked it. I thought it was fun and a good way to just kind of see what readers wanted.
That's really cool. So did you get people's feedback, and did that impact how you were writing?
Yes, I did. It's definitely useful to see what kind of direction the story's going in somebody else's eyes.
Because that was actually one of my questions about your trilogy. When the story came to you, did it came already planned as a trilogy, or was it like a standalone and it evolved into it?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first one, it was totally chaotic. I'm a pantser for the most part, so I write, it just comes to me. I wrote the first book, had no idea where it was going, what was going to happen, any of it. But then when I finished it, I was like, okay, there's a lot that needs to be addressed here. So with books 2 and 3, I definitely had to sit down and outline it, plan everything. There was so many loose ends that I had to tie up. So it's kind of a little bit of both.
I love that. So it came to you. And how did the story come to you? Because it's very, I was one because you read write a lot of fantasy. Are you still able to take into your day-to-day life, or is it very remote from it?
It's very remote from it. The only thing I might have in common with any of the characters, my main character, she's a mother, which I am as well. So that was kind of the only common ground I have with anything in my story. It's completely opposite of my daily life.
No, I only read the first book so far. It's so good. It was so many turns I did not expect. And I think you write really well in the sense that, sometimes there's a lot of descriptions. I think your description is perfect because you really feel immersed into the book. I could really see myself into this world. And but it was not overwhelming and just full of information. It was really more action-based. It was really, really well written.
Thank you. I love to hear that. I saw your review this morning, and
I know I did. I was trying to finish before we call you. I was like, I need to read her books. No, I'm really excited to read the 2 others.
Yeah.
About your writing journey, were you a reader before you were a writer, or did they come hand in hand?
They came hand in hand. I've always been a reader. I started writing when I was little, like elementary school. Then I stopped for a long time and only read. I only recently got back into writing, I would say, over the last 5 years. So a little bit of both.
Do you remember the first kind of story that made you think, I want to write something, I want to make people feel this feeling?
I actually don't know if it was a story or just being taught in school. I had a really amazing teacher who taught us about creative writing, and it just inspired me so much. And I think it was an assignment I did, and I realized this is fun. I really like this, and that just kind of sparked my interest. But there's so many amazing stories that inspire me all the time, even now.
Did you learn to write, or you just were autodidact and learned by yourself and see what works? And
I'm basically just self-taught. I've done a few little writing courses here or there, but I don't have like a formal education in creative writing or anything like that.
No, but that's so great to hear. I think also for other people that are a bit worried to start that, because you write beautifully,
Thank
that
you.
you can just go and do it,
Yeah, that's the best way to learn, I think, is just to start writing. And it doesn't have to be great on your first draft. My first drafts are horrendous usually, so you just got to power through it.
Yeah, I always say this, that you can always edit a page, but you cannot edit a blank page. So it's better to go and put words on a page and see later on.
Exactly.
And so when did writing shift from something you were doing privately to something you wanted to share?
I've kind of always just had the idea in mind that I wanted to be an author and like publish books and share it with everyone. I was just just too afraid to do so. I think I finally started putting my work out there around 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I had some really great critique partners that helped me like shape everything, and it kind of encouraged me to share my work with the rest of the world.
That's great. And what you mean writing partners? Like what is your process then when you write? It sounds like you have one.
Yeah, I have a couple of critique partners. Actually, I don't write them all the time. It's like every few months I'll like kind of touch base and be like, hey, I've got something. Do you want to take a look at it? And then we usually trade works. I read theirs and offer my feedback, and they do the same with me. And that has been a
That's
tremendous
great.
help. Yeah.
It's great that you're doing also both ways. I think that's also very inspiring to see other people and taking their feedback on.
Yes. I think you learn just as much critiquing somebody else's work as you do when they critique yours.
Is it hard, you think, sometimes, like when you give your first draft and you were maybe really happy with it and you got a lot of feedback, was it a bit hard, or the opposite? You're like, yes, give me all the feedback.
First couple times, especially when I was starting out, I feel like I kind of had to develop a little bit of a thicker skin. But now, like, if there's a scene or something I know I'm struggling with, I'll just be like, hey, heads up, this part is not that great. Any suggestions that you might have, I'm open to hearing. But, I think it's also important to pick critique partners that are not extremely critical of your work. You need people that are going to support you too, and not just tear your work to shreds. There's people out there that want to do that too. So it's important to be encouraging as well.
Yeah, just a good supportive environment. I agree with you.
Yes.
And so about your trilogy, do you want to maybe explain a little bit what it is about?
Yeah. So it's romantasy. It's kind of a pretty even blend of romance and fantasy. The series follows a 32-year-old human woman. She's widowed and a single mom as she overcomes obstacles while also finding true love. There is a lot of drama.
Yeah, the least you could say.
I would say there's themes of like redemption and forgiveness kind of underlying everything throughout the trilogy. There's a lot of like found family, hidden powers, slow burn, love triangle type stuff, especially as the series goes on.
And when you wrote the book, did the character Aislinn, did she change as you wrote, or she came to you kind of not fully prepared, I guess, but you knew what you wanted her to be?
Yeah, I kind of knew I wanted a strong, independent woman character. Also, it was important to me to write a mother type character. I don't feel like there's a ton of that in the genre, and
that's true.
Yeah, I was wanting to write something that I could relate to as well as a lot of other women. And it was important for me to have her not be like super young either. So yeah, I kind of knew what I wanted when I wrote her. I will say the other characters kind of just came to me.
Do you want to talk about your other book that you just finished?
Yeah, A Fever, Cruel and Lonely it's like a werewolf shifter romantasy, definitely like medieval vibes setting. It's kind of a grim, dark world, so it's definitely dark as well. But it's a love story. I think that one's more romance based than the House Woodthorne trilogy. There's a lot going on between the two characters. They're fated mates, which is kind of revealed at the beginning. So that was fun to write. I've never written paranormal or werewolf before, so it was an experience.
And how come you did the shift?
Well, I've got a lot of feedback from critique partners and stuff that said, your House Woodthorne series, you've done some like really creepy scenes in here. You do horror really well. So I was like, maybe I'll run with that and try something a little different. And I really enjoyed it. It was super fun.
And do you feel like it taught you more things to you as a writer?
Oh,
like
yeah.
different from writing the first ones?
Yeah, I can tell a huge difference in the books that the last book I wrote as opposed to the first. And I think that just comes with practice, writing as much as you can. Writing or reading every day, I think, really helps shape that.
And why, because obviously you mentioned that you can write dark and horror scene quite well. How come are you more interested into those type of writing or scenery?
I don't know. I've always really liked horror or paranormal too, paranormal romance. But I also really love fantasy. So I try to blend the two into something.
No, but I think, romantasy and horror is not often all put together. We do say dark romance, but I don't think we would the horror draw there a lot with romance. So it's fun to see it actually combine here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do.
No, I think you're doing really well.
Thank you.
So then I had a few questions about also Weink. How did you hear about us?
I think I saw a post on Instagram. I can't remember who shared it, but that's where I came across it. And I was like, well, I want to put my books on there too. So I did. And I love Weink. It's been so helpful. You guys are really great about sharing any of my posts or like adding my stories to different TikToks or reels that you're making. And I'm just so appreciative of the chance to get my work out there and get more readers. And I also think that a ton of my readers have come from Weink, my books on a lot of different platforms. But I think a majority of the reads I've gotten are from being on Weink.
I'm so glad it's helpful. We're a small team with a dream trying to make it happen, but I'm so glad. There's so much marketing involved, isn't it?
Oh my gosh,
That
yes. And that's I
especially
struggled
if
so
you're an
much with
indie
that.
author.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the whole team, and then I think you have multiple cascade, right? You have to write, you have to edit, you have to do covers. It
Oh yeah.
becomes a whole job, and then at the top, then you have to add marketing and tell people to come try your books. And I think it's really hard when you know the mainstream ones were a bit niche to find.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
Yeah, I'm telling
It's
this to you.
definitely a
You know this. I was going to ask, but that's me being nosy because you're Violetta Brooks, and that's your pen name. Is there a
yeah.
reason you didn't write under your own name?
I'm trying to keep my real name separate from this pen name. I kind of have plans with my legal name. I'm writing like a teen fantasy book that I don't really want it to be
No, no, we don't have to
associated
say
with this
more.
one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But is it already out? You already have names under that other name? Books
No,
or no?
I
Sorry.
don't have anything under it yet.
Hmm.
I might, kind of connect the two together at some point. We'll see. But yeah, it's a little bit dramatic of me, but I like to
No,
keep
no,
it
it's
homely.
not. I think it's great. No, you could also never reveal your real name and just keep it as it is, you know? And would you have any like advice to give any fellow writers out there that want to start?
Yeah, I would say I've seen this a lot, and everyone's probably tired of seeing it, but writing every day for sure. Writing or
Hmm.
reading. Reading, I think, is just as beneficial in your growth as a writer. That definitely will help you. Writing and reading every day, as well as critique partners. I cannot stress that enough. Like having a critique partner has been so valuable to me, and I've learned so much just through that process. Also, write the story that you want to read. You don't have to chase trends or like what's popular. I think
Hmm.
that if there's something that you want to write, even if it's never been done, you should do it.
No, I agree. The Anais, which was on the podcast last time, said that. She said she writes the books that wish was written,
Yeah,
which makes sense. You want to write your own work, right?
yeah, of course. And I think writing for me is like therapy. It's so fun, and I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm not enjoying what I'm writing, then who else is going to enjoy it either?
No, of course. Because it's your therapy. Is that like your main hobby is writing what you do, where you resource yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. I write all the time. Like, I mean, all the time. I have my phone, and even if I'm not really working on my, document, I'm making notes, and just
Hmm.
it helps so much. It really does.
And because you write so much, do you think you have any like ongoing books that you have lots on the side?
I have my first book I wrote when I was learning to write. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. I
I'm sure
I
it's
may
not.
revisit it. I may revisit it in the future, rework it, but I didn't publish it. Thank God. But it definitely taught me a lot. It taught me a lot.
When you say you write all the time, is it like small ideas that pops to your mind saying, oh, that would fit the story, or that would be a fun character? Or
Yeah, I keep notes all the time, and even when I'm not like where I can actually physically sit down and write, I'm thinking stuff in my head. I'll be doing dishes, and then here comes like a conversation between my characters, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's gonna work. I need to get back to my phone so I can write that down real quick. I don't want to forget it. And also like waking up in the middle of the night, characters,
yeah.
ideas popping up in your head, can't sleep, happens all the
Do you
time.
ever do you ever do voice recording rather than writing?
No, I need to, but I have kids. I have a lot of kids, and it's pretty noisy in here. I don't know if I could if I could do that.
I don't understand. Because I said this because sometimes when I go to bed, that's when I have great ideas coming to me. I'm like, oh, let me just speak out loud to my phone rather than open my phone, start typing.
See, that's a good idea. I should do that actually.
That's what I do. Do you think there's anything in the way you write or the way you plan that's different from others?
I don't know. I don't know if it's anything different from anybody else. I feel like a lot of us have similarities
Hmm.
about the way we write and the way we think of things and get inspired by things. I don't know if what I do is anything that different.
No, but it's normal because, as you said, we get inspired by environment and what we consume art-wise or the books you're reading.
Yeah, I definitely get inspired by that.
Do you consume yourself a lot of like romance and fantasy genre books?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I like
From writing the after House Thorne, because that was quite fast, right? You put those three books quite quickly after one another.
Yeah.
You did so well to, like, I guess, find the motivation to always keep going. Because I know some people, after they write the first book, they want to write something else, Velvet Cleanser, and you just power through.
Yeah. I immediately started writing books 2 and 3 right after.
Really?
In between critiquing, like with my critique partner, I had to get it all down. It was eating at me.
Is it because you had the idea, like it was itching you to put it down?
Yes, that's exactly why.
No, I'm really amazed. It's really, really good. And did it come to you as like, oh, this is a trilogy that's going to happen? Or you just knew where it was going?
The first book, I didn't really know what the heck was going on. I just wrote it. And then I was like, okay, I exactly know what I want for book 2 and book 3. So after that one, I kind of had an idea. I knew it really couldn't be a standalone. There was just too much unresolved stuff.
Yeah. And did you go with a different mindset with this one because you knew you wanted your last book to be a standalone?
Yes. Yeah, I did. It is a little
You were like,
different.
no, I've done too much work now.
Yeah, I was like, try to keep it a little bit more simple. It was just kind of a fun side project for me, so I didn't want to do too much with it.
And are you already working on something else, or are you taking a bit of a break?
I'm taking a little bit
doing
of a break.
4 books.
I'm taking a little bit of a break. I'm kind of working on releasing like new editions of the House Woodthorne trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of getting it ready for some other retailers and possibly like print versions. So that's kind of what's going right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is right now everything in ebook format for you.
Yes, it's only in ebook.
Mm-mm. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, I'll buy them even if I read them online. I still want them.
Well, thank you.
My trophy copy.
Yeah, thank you. I'm kind of considering like possibly like a standalone book set in the same world in the future. I don't have any huge plans for that yet, just an idea.
Is there a character you think has unresolved storyline that should appear?
Maybe. I haven't chosen which character specifically yet. I have a couple ideas, but I'm open to suggestions. So if, anyone has a character that they would love to see have their own book, I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, do comments. I'll finish the trilogy and then I'll text you. I'll tell you which one.
Great.
Never, thank you so much for joining me today. And so you can find all your Walter's books, including A Fever of Cruel and Lonely and the House of Woodthorne trilogy on Weink, and I'll add all the relevant links in the episode description. And if there's anything or anything else you want to add, where people can find you, there's other projects you want to mention.
Yeah.
You can.
You can find, I don't have like an author's website. I do have an Instagram page I'm pretty active on. You can find me there at _Violetta Brooks. If you follow me, I follow you back, whether you're a reader that just, you read my stories and you liked it, or you're curious, or if you're an author, I love to support other authors. So give me a follow.
Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Right. Thank you.